Going on, guys? Sean Don coming back at you with a technical analysis. Here we have Joey, Lussier. That's how I'm going to say his name is pronounced. I'm not exactly sure. But Joey, yeah. 60-ish meters in training. PB officially is 50, 56, 88, I believe. Let's take a look at the throw. Solid rhythm, solid finish. Okay, overall, I like the look of the throw. Perhaps a tad draggy in there, but we won't know until we break it down. So, let's do that. So lefty, nice shoulder width stance, nice easy winds. Computer's going nice and slow today. I love it. So yeah, hands up, turn the shoulders back, you see your head peaks a little forwards, shift to the right, shift back to the left, sorry, back and forth, shift to the left, back to the right, loading that right side pretty well, waiting for the hammer. You can see your head's peeking a little bit. It's hard to tell with this blurry sort of net vision, but you can see, yeah, your head peaks just a little bit, so then that left shoulder shifts back, or sorry, right shoulder shifts back just a little bit. Not very much though. Decent job waiting for the ball, but yeah, you can see you're leading it just a little bit with that right side. You can see there's just that slight disconnection between your hands, which are pointed like towards like right here, with the ball being back right there, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but just something to be aware of. That, like I said, that right shoulder is just a little bit overactive. Left foot's not doing much as the ball comes through zero. Maybe try to get it turning just a little bit more. If you use this left leg a little bit more, it'll help hold this right side a little bit more steady while you wait for the ball to pass. If you don't use this left leg at all, then that's kind of what happens is you end up shifting back. Otherwise, though, silky smooth single support movement. Quick in. You catch super deep. Looks a tad Adam Keenan-ish, if you know who that is. The hips are back a little bit, shoulders a little bit forwards, but you're like super. You're catching super deep. You're into your legs. You're using your legs. If anything, I would say maybe try to get your hips a little bit more forwards, or maybe even try to get this right shoulder back over this right hip just a bit more. Otherwise, I mean, that's a pretty solid catch. Can't really complain about that. You maybe could be able to run the ball a little bit longer. Let's see where this left foot comes up. So it comes up just about the ball, gets to 90. But overall, yeah, pretty solid catch there. Like I said, you can just see your shoulders a little bit forwards because your hips are a little bit back. Once again, just try to level that out. So shoulders back more over the hips. Otherwise, you do a decent job of waiting for the ball. Through here, you can see this left leg start to work with the ball. Right heel comes down. Left foot starts working with the ball. That's good. Pretty stable. Right side as the ball comes through zero. You can just see that I think so. This catch position here, with this left leg being so deep into the sector, it kind of makes it hard for you to get your left hip all the way up into the throw. So I think that's why you have the tendency just to pull back a little bit here. As you can see, that left hip is still down and back away from the ball when it needs to be coming a little bit more forwards. As you can see, it does that, but just a little bit late, and it's not until this right side, you have to pull this right side away to get that left hip into the throw. So once again, I think if you just landed with your feet just not quite as staggered, you'd be able to get that left foot doing a little bit more and really getting that left hip into the ball to get it to accelerate a little bit better. But like I said, that rest of it is to pull you back in a way to get that left leg around and into the throw. And because of that, you can see how wide you have to go around this right side with this left heel kind of coming down so early. The left heel My right heel comes down right there, which is a good thing because you know if that heel isn't down, then you can't really accelerate. Um, but then also since it comes down so early and you do pull this right side back and away, it's kind of fighting a tug of war around this right side. And I mean, you do it well in this throw, but it looks like not every throw may be as smooth or seamless. Because then, like I said, you gotta really get this left leg around the right just to get it in and catch. And once again, your hips are more underneath you here, but you're once again, like I said, you're kind of back away from this right heel, which is kind of you want more weight over that right heel a little bit, at least on the catch. But that left hip is underneath you, and that's what's important. A little tilt in the shoulders, but you're nice and square to the ball, which is good. Landing a little bit heavy on this left leg. Once again, you can see that it comes down. It doesn't do much turning. It's mostly that left or that right foot. Sorry, that right foot is clamping down while this left leg is just kind of staying idle and holding you up, which is good. But that left leg kind of needs to be working with that right leg a little bit more. And it isn't until a few frames in. But yeah, same thing here. You can see less staggered, but you're able to get that left hip into the throw a little bit more as it comes up. But then there's also just a slight drag. So you can see that once again that right shoulder is kind of going backwards instead of letting the ball go long around this right side. It kind of pulls backwards and shortens that radius just a little bit, but you do a good job of getting that left hip into the ball. Pretty solid single support movement. And see, this is where that slight backward movement with the right shoulder, with it pulling back, you can see you start to come around this right side rather than stepping forwards into the throw. As you can see, so once again here you can see this tension in that left shoulder. You're starting to turn ahead, hips are getting turned ahead. You're just slightly ahead of the ball. I mean, you catch it deep, but you can see your hips are just not over rotated, but very rotated relative to the ball. I prefer, this is my personal preference, to be a little bit more square with my hips to the ball. This drastic separation only kind of creates more drag and separation throughout the throw as it goes on. And once again, landing with that left hip underneath you, which is good. But like I said, this just a tad bit too much separation between the upper and lower body for my liking. But that's just me. It looks like you're doing a pretty good job with it, and I think this is one thing that I'm learning as I continue to coach, is that people just have different styles of throwing, obviously, and not everybody needs to throw the same way. And I think like your throw is pretty solid, but yeah, just a lot of separation there. And then same thing, that right foot kind of clamps down while that left foot doesn't do much, and once again it's pretty staggered. And then yeah, same thing, that right side really starts taking off here. Now this is that kind of drag that I was talking about. You see your lower body is very much ahead of the ball. Your left shoulder, or right shoulder, sorry, is pretty tight. Not necessarily the worst thing, but it's just letting the ball pass just a little bit more, like 1% more each turn goes a long way. And once again, very good job getting that left hip up into the ball. But then that right side just pulling back. You can see here there's a slight hiccup. Very slight. But yeah, you're going to see like you're going to have a lot of weight on this left side when you come down. Maybe a little bit too drastic with this left leg movement. Might be coming a little bit too high, honestly. But yeah, you can see here once again, just very tight across the body. And then you see how your right foot is barely on the ground. That's a sign once again that your right side is pulling too much, and you're going to land heavy on this. And yeah, same there. It almost skips a little bit. You see how it almost comes off the ground? Yeah, and it's these 3 frames right here. Once again, signs that this left side and right side is just too tight. It has too much tension. You're not waiting for the ball enough in 2, 3, and 4. So you really need to wait for the ball to pass in those later turns just a little bit more. Like I said, that residual tension pulls you off the ground a little bit, and you land. And then, yeah, you're just pulling the hammer through. decent job staying down and waiting for the hammer. That's why you stick that finish pretty well. But yeah, I think that last turn, that penultimate turn, you could do much better if you just let the ball pass. So like I said, you can see this ball gets to 0, and then that left foot comes off the ground too early. So then when that happens, you didn't quite complete the turn, which is why you have to pull that right side around to get the ball to finish its movement. If you didn't do that and you let the ball go, then you would not be able to complete this final turn in the finish. So overall, I mean, pretty solid. But yeah. So one more time through. Let's see if my computer doesn't take too slow. I'll just go play by play. The winds and entry are pretty solid. Like I said, just you got to be a little bit more patient. Right through here, you can see that right side starts to go a little bit. That head, try to keep that head focused maybe back on like something that's like 30 or 45 degrees before 0. And then use this left leg a little bit more. Let the ball run longer, get the ball in the direction of the sector a little bit more. And then just get that left hip underneath you on this first catch. If you get that left hip underneath you, you'll feel much more stable and you'll be able to work the ball a lot longer, use that left leg better. Instead of having to use this right side to pull the ball around to get the ball moving. But yeah, and then outside of that, it's just waiting for that ball to pass just a little bit more. Like I said, this right side is very strong throughout the throw, and because you are just a little bit antsy with it, you're just doing too much to that right side, so you're kind of salvaging what you can there. But I mean, you're doing a good job of it. Like, it's a nice looking throw. But yeah, it's just those little things, letting the ball pass 1% more, using that left leg and left hip just a little bit more. It goes a long way in the throw. So, all right, Joey, let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. If anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, go to SeanDonnelly.biz, go to the services page, and sign up for an in-depth technical analysis. So, all right, Sean Don, peace out. Thanks for watching.